Oh, here come that. Oh, here we go. Okay, no, I gotta listen. They talk fast. New SBTY cuff round. Come on, hold on. Listen.
I just wanted to say hi. I
Okay,
love
Melissa, I
you.
gotta go. That's bullshit. I gotta get her son
Hey,
on here.
yo! So you gonna bomb on me?
I am because her son is on here, and I'm gonna pour her son on here.
Oh, go ahead. Yes, bring the sun. Bring.
Okay. What the hell? Hey y'all, oh, it's about to get real deep. Jay, don't tell me no. Where you go? Where you go? Oh, here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Nepet, if you don't accept my request, Nepet, I swear I'm like, Jay, what's poppin', bro?
Oh, this is intense. What's up?
It is. Come on, back up. This is so deep. Yo, your mom just was dropping some shit right, but I need you to back up so we can see you. I need you to back up.
Oh.
I need them to see you, and then talk that stuff how you be talking.
She said, "Talk that stuff." Like, what y'all talking about?
We was talking about astrology and how dumb I am when it comes to it. But we had some people see. First, sit still.
She said, "Sit still. Hold on. Let me find the spot." I was in watch mode.
You look like Rockamuffin Marley.
That was the plan.
You look like Bob Marley. You look like Bob Marley, other illegitimate child.
Shit, you talk to my mind more than I do, so
Nah.
you might have some secret information or something. See, am I good now?
Yeah, all right, good. Now they was talking about the Dwights and how Waka Flocka came over, and then y'all had some Hennessy. You remember how you was talking that stuff to me? So just talk some astrology. Break down. They think she's smart. It's like that they ask a question. Y'all can ask an astrology question, but he's not doing. Let me hold on. Stop. He's not doing no readings unless you pay him. That's number one. And since he was just spectating and had no idea that I was gonna bring him on live, he's not doing no readings because he don't feel like it. He was chilling. So if y'all book a read with him, it's going to cost you more than it normally costs because he's going to go out of his way. My leg Gonzala going out of his way to do this. Yes, this is her son. So I would like for you to introduce yourself, tell everybody your Instagram, and then loosely as you can. You already know I'm already tuned out. Explain something astrological. Like somebody said, what's Sagittarius rising? So start from there.
Okay. Well, first of all, I go by the name Abdullah Kafre, for the most part. I'm also known as Nesu BT Kafre. I am a modern day occultist. We like to call ourselves the Urban Golden Dawn. My goal is to make modern day occultism and spirituality more conceptual for the average mind to have colloquial grasps on. So as far as what a Sagittarius rising would be like, Sagittarius is the sign of adventure, exploration, and expansion, right? So Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising would both have the quality of being individuals that would engage in long distance traveling, high level philosophy, exploration of their own thinking and their own thought processes, and that would go for both a Sagittarius and a Sagittarius rising. The ascendant more so describes or gives indication to how a person appears in this reality. The ascendant begins the 12 chart process. So the sun sign is going to be one dot within those 12 aspects or those 12 houses. So your sun sign is a fraction of who you are, is just a big fraction of who you are. So sometimes you'll run into people who have the same ascendant as they do a sun sign. They appear as they are. You feel me? Whereas for me, I appear as something differently than what I am. So what powers me or what drives me to be who I am isn't what you're going to notice or take into consideration upon meeting me. That's how we can, see a difference between how the ascendant and the sun sign would manifest. But there are going to be similarities between those who carry the energy, regardless of how they carry the energy, even within their moon.
Did y'all get that? Because Charlie Brown teacher, once he
You said something about dwads too.
yes, the colloquial dwads.
So dwads play a big part in this as well. So what a lot of people don't understand is that within a sign, there are 30 degrees within a sign. Every 10 degrees, that sign enters a new section of itself. And within those sections, there are 4 subsections. So the 3 sections of a sign are known as the decans. And the 4 subsections within those decans are known as the dwads. So within every sign, there is all 12 signs. You feel me? For Leo, for instance, the first 10 degrees is the Leo decan. The second 10 degrees is the Sagittarius decan. The third 10 degrees is the Aries decan. So within Leo, you have 3 different kinds of Leo. In the Sagittarius decan, which is the second decan, you have 4 different signs. The first one being Sagittarius, the next being Capricorn, then Aquarius, and then Pisces. So even people born in those same 10 days, it's 4 different kinds of those people. So you could say, what describe a Sagittarius rising? Well, is that Sagittarius rising in the Leo decan? And is it in the Pisces dwad? You feel me? There's so many nuances that are going to give us further indications of what that can mean for that particular case. So there are a lot more nuances than just, saying that a person is like this or is like that. There's so many elements to a person's chart.
Your mom said there's layers in this shit.
Absolutely.
I was listening to y'all for the past 2 days. And every time you said you feel me, I kept saying, absolutely not. No fucking idea what you're talking about. So I have to listen to it all the time. I haven't listened to it in like a month, but I just started to listen to it again right now with all the shit that's going on. And I've been trying to listen to it again, and I just realized how ignorant I sounded. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what the fuck they talking about.
It grows on you. When you invest the time in it, it grows on you. And it's not as complicated as it seems in the beginning. If you understand that all 12 signs give indication to all 12 houses, and all of those 12 signs are ruled by 10 planets. If you understand the energies of those 10 planets, then you know all the signs and you know all the houses, and you're just mixing and matching and just learning more aggressive details and more complicated mathematics on how to make use of these elements. But if you know those elements, then, it's not really that complicated. It's just about how much math and how much calculation you personally want to do, you know what I'm saying, for your own purposes, whether you want to read or whether you want to be knowledgeable of your own happenings.
What does the moon sign mean?
So the moon means a multitude of things within the chart. Mainly, the moon gives indication to our emotionality, how we respond to things emotionally, how we engage stimuli emotionally. It is also our subconscious thought. The moon also indicates our memory. It also indicates the feminine energy in your reality and in your life. And usually that gives primary indication to the mother. So the moon means a multitude of things. For instance, somebody with a moon in Aquarius would have a strange or weird relationship with their mother, as much as they would have detached emotions. The moon placement would describe their own emotionality, as well as it would describe their relationship with their mother or their most nurturing figure in their life, which can in some cases be the father. But it gives indication to the nurturer in a person's experience, as the moon is a nurturing force in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? But mainly, you can simply engage it with emotion. A moon in Sag. So if you have a moon in Sag, all we're doing as astrologers is using, the difference between one astrologer and the next astrologer outside of mathematical calculations and how in-depthly they go into that is what keywords we prefer personally, right? So Mars is gunshots as much as it's stabbings, as much as it's getting punched. You feel me? As much as it's fire. So if I say you have Mars in the 4th house, that could be a mother getting stabbed as much as it could be your house getting set on fire. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? 4 different astrologers are going to give you 4 different collections of those words. You feel me? But ultimately, it's the same energy that they're describing. So if you have a moon in Sag, you can just very simply say adventurous or adventurous, Sagittarius, moon, emotions. So you can be very adventurous with your emotions, or you can be very philosophical as far as how you engage or interpret emotionality. You also still, even then, have a lot of passion and a lot of morality and a lot of opinion when it comes to your emotionality, because Sagittarius is still a fire sign, even though it's mutable in its fireness. So you are an individual, or a person with moon in Sagittarius would be an individual who is very emotionally, or can be very emotionally distracted at times, can't necessarily stay on topic when it comes to things in regards to their emotionality. And people who overall feel some type of satisfaction and contentment when they are traveling, or when they are even in social engagements or social endeavors.
Yeah, where you been? That was a lot. So Cam, yes, book a reading, but the reason why part of that, some of the questions, the way you pose them, no matter how you pose them, is still asking for a reading, or it's still giving, a person taking it's still them giving input to something. I was not going to dictate how you handle that or whatever like that. As I already said, there was stuff going on prior to you coming on here about me saying like the shit, and I'm not saying anything bad about Cam, because I know Cam, and Cam will book a reading and blah 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 blah. So it's not like he like somebody trying to just be like, oh, tell me this, tell me that. You know what I'm saying? But
Man.
Can you please?
I love the information. Information speaks for itself. I can only be a conduit to give it to you.
So in the 1, 2, and 3, your breakdown does apply to inside. So the 1, 2, and 3 that you broke down, does that apply to the moon sign? Hold on before you say that. Hold on before you answer that. Nedpat, can you do me a favor and type in his Instagram page?
So
Cam,
okay,
I'm sorry, hold on. One more time. Cam, questions are fair. I just want the questions to be loose and open for everybody, not individual. Because when you make it individually attached to you, then that's getting a free reading.
Right.
That's what I was talking about in the beginning for my first live that had me totally pissed. I'm just on some other shit right now. So
like for instance, right? Somebody asked about Leo moon, and their mother is a Leo sun.
that
right?
was lovely. You
So,
did got to answer her ass.
Right. So, for instance, you have a very dramatic mother, and a very dramatic relationship with your mother, but y'all also have an emotional lock. When the moon of one person's chart and the sun of another person's chart are in the same sign, they are locked, because the sun is who you are and the moon is who you are inside. So the moon is who you are inside and the sun is who you are. Right? So I am a Leo, right? I'm very passionate. I'm very expressive. Emotionally, I am a Libra. That's who I am on the inside. I'm very diplomatic. You feel me? I'm very emotionally managing, right? Or indecisive. Sometimes I don't know how I want to feel about a situation, thus I have to analyze it. I'm not reactionary in that way, right? Because that's who I am on the inside, whereas my sun sign is who I am on the outside. So your mother having her sun in the same sign as your moon means that who she is exactly who you are inside. You feel me? So there's always going to be a clash with that. When you're dealing with aspects, right? Aspects, 0 degrees is the sign Aries. Aries is the sign that sits on 0 degrees of a circle. So 0 degrees is represented by Aries, warfare. So when 2 people are in the same sign, they're going to go to war naturally. That's why they say you should never be in a relationship with somebody as the same sign as you, because y'all are only Aries degrees away. Y'all can only exist in warfare. You see how that works?
Really?
You can also exist in motivation and inspiration, which are other keywords for Aries. But in its most rudimentary base form, Aries is always going to be some type of engagement or conflict. You know what I'm saying? So when you have two things that are 0 degrees apart, they're engaging with each other. In ways you can manage the engagement, but there's engagement. You feel me? So when your emotions are right next to your mother sparks your emotions immediately, and your emotions spark your mother. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a direct connection between how y'all two exist within that same energy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So what about a Capricorn and Capricorn together in a relationship?
Capricorn, well, any two signs, any two people that are within the same sign are going to have conflict with each other. But normally, when people find themselves in a situation where they're dating somebody of a similar sign, it's because it's time for you to get a lesson on self and how to indulge and how to explore and how to be honest with yourself about how you truly express yourself. So Capricorn is you have any sign with any sign, right? It's a double down, right? So for instance, somebody said Aquarius and Aquarius. That's detachment met with detachment. Capricorn with Capricorn, that's limitations met with limitations. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing in between. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You feel me? There's no room for exploration. You feel me? So you can only sit in the energy that you always sit in. You feel me? And we get tired of ourselves. That's why we find the need to have relationships so aggressively. So if you get tired of yourself and then end up bringing your own energy into your space, you're going to get tired of them, same way you're tired of yourself. It's so much so that you had to bring them into your space. You know what I'm saying? So we need, in some way, shape, or form, nuances that are outside of our natural foundation of energy in order for us to explore and grow ourselves into new aspects of our potential. And that's why it's always hard. Aries is the sign of competition. Two people of the same sign are going to compete because they're only 0 degrees Aries competitive forces away from each other.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I would think that people, you flip your camera around, that people of the same sign would be good because you know what you're dealing with.
Well, I had a situation where I was dealing with somebody of the same sign, and it was right after a really bad breakup. And, you know, I'm a Leo. We're very loving. We're very expressive. Leo rules the heart. We're very giving. We're very generous people. So to have been taken advantage of and, you know what I'm saying, for such a long period of time, I started engaging with the Leo, and they loved me the exact same way that I love. I got to experience how it is I love on people.
Right. Okay.
Right? And I cherished that experience. I cherished that experience and I appreciated that experience. But then I realized afterwards how obnoxious I could be at times. I noticed how dramatic I could be at times. But these were nuances that I couldn't notice in my own behavior because it was my own nature. But I could see it in somebody who shared my nature and then see where my uncomfortability and them engaging in that energy made me realize I was being a hypocrite with my own actions within that energy. So she helped me cultivate myself into a better version of my sign. But if I didn't have her as an external version of my sign, then I never would have had the objective perspective of myself. You feel me? So a lot of times that's how it works. But in some way, some shape or form, competition, warfare, and the motivation and inspiration to strive as an individual self is what's going to happen when you deal with somebody who shares similar energy than yourself. Granted, there are so many nuances that can make these things work or not work. You know what I'm saying? But you know, for the most part, generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? And somebody said this nigga be on YouTube too much. You should study the cosmophysician Ra-Aku. And realize that a lot of these ideologies and concepts can be explained and calculated and analyzed very strategically and scholastically, and not by any type of YouTube rhetoric or YouTube rubric. Somebody said Leos are hoes. These type of generalizations come from a lack of actually understanding how the system of astrology truly works, and the fact that you are all 12 signs, and we all have all of the 12 natures within us, and we all express them differently for different reasons. And we would be fruitful to be mindful of how we engage in generalizations, especially unlearnedly.
So I gotta bring Andy and Amber over there for their charts. Amber's birthday just passed, Andy's coming up. But this, remember I told you my big daughter studied astrology?
Yeah.
So when somebody said Leos are hoes, and you was commenting back, she leaned over and was like, Leos are hoes. A 15-year-old astrologer knows that. It gotta be some truth in it.
So here's the thing, right? If somebody were to say that any sign is anything, if you cannot prove that in the chart, then everything that you're saying is conjecture and is not based in any real tangible, controllable levels of scrutiny. So I could say Pisces are hoes. I could say people of Ophiuchus are hoes. What would be your evidence to that fact besides your own anecdotes of situations that you've experienced, or situations that people you know have experienced? If you cannot prove it in the chart, it's not something that we should stand on as tangible tools to engage the science. If you cannot prove it, Sagittarius is the adventurer. Pisces is the feet. The fourth house is the home. Sagittarius adventures because they live in their feet. That's a tangible fact. We can understand and we can diverge or divulge how Sagittarius functions by looking at all of the signs that sit in its different places. That's how we read charts. You feel me? So when we say that one sign has a particular connotation that goes with them, if you can't prove it in the chart, you're not really saying anything substantial. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of ways, you're talking out your ass. Any sign could be a hoe. Any person could be a hoe. Any person could be a murderer. But Scorpio is the sign of murder. You know what I'm saying? Pluto is the sign of death, life, rebirth. But I could kill you right now as a Leo, and I'm sure a Capricorn will put the work in. So, you know what I'm saying? So we can't say so. But if somebody says, oh, Capricorns are murderers, that doesn't make sense, because Scorpio is the sign of murder.
Whatever you just said about Capricorns, it doesn't make sense, because if it weren't, it froze. So I didn't hear what you said. That's why I know whatever you said is true, because the universe dismissed it. Yup. Look, you still froze. You try to disrespect my sign, and the whole shit is went.
Oh no, and that's the thing. It's no disrespect. It's just understanding. You know, the fact that you have people who gather their colloquial information from memes, and then you have people who gather a colloquial understanding for the purpose of making the information practical and useful. You know what I'm saying? So people build opinions about things, but
Cam, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm holding my head like this, Cam. Y'all should have been there when I got my read. Not the whole time I was sitting there, thank God for the dumpling and rice and peas I had, because that whole reading was so stressful. I was like, I don't know what is going on. It made me like my first nail chop so much better.
Whatchamacallit? Anybody that I'm just reading some of the comments, and I'm always very appreciative of naysayers, and I will debate anybody on their platform. in front of their audience, who they have the power of the majority, because it's very hard to debate things that can be backed up, and I try not to open my mouth about things that I cannot back up. So pseudo comments, that's funny, but if, you know what I'm saying, if you can stand on those statements, then stand on those statements as well.
Wait a minute. Cam, you know I already went there. Cam, in my mind, before you type challenge, listen, I can make this very interesting.
Right.
So, I might be willing to create a spam account. That's what they call it? A fake account? Yeah, basically. Okay. They will not be free for all. It will not be free. So we're gonna have another account where people can pay in advance for this debate, because in this debate, they're gonna get a lot of knowledge. There's gonna be a lot of information given out, right? I'm gonna sit down as the mediator with you and Rizzy, because we all in Philly. And you two motherfuckers go back and forth for an hour. That hour is going to be 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and 20 minutes for me to breathe and tell y'all to shut the fuck up. There's going to be a lot of shut the fuck ups going on there. We might have to do something like that. I don't get none of the proceeds. I'm going to split that cash up right there in the middle between two of y'all for y'all time. But my viewers know how Rizzy is, and they're learning how you are. And I have to say, that might be quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm all about on standing what I say, and I think that it's very important that information is challenged. And I'm an individual, I absolutely love to be challenged as a martial artist. I love to be challenged, because any notion that I need to get in the gym, I need to know immediately. And I have had many a challenge, and I have yet to see anybody make me feel the need to hop in the gym more extensively than I already do. So I love to show people that their confidence lacks evidence to the fact. But a lot of people are inquiring about Mercury retrograde, and I want to say something about Mercury retrograde too that a lot of people might not understand. Planets don't physically move backwards. I think that's important for people to understand on a fundamental level, is that planets don't move backwards, right? If I could, let me see if I can, right? Let me give you a bit of a diagram, right? So if this is the Earth, right? We revolve around the sun. But inside that, Mercury is revolving around the sun as well. Mercury revolves around the sun 3 times in our 1 year. If Mercury is revolving around the sun, at one point, it looks like it's going this direction. By the time it gets to the other side of the sun, it comes out looking like it's going the other direction. That's only because of our place in the sky in relationship to where Mercury is in its orbit. So we only see it as if it's moving backwards, right? So that in and of itself shows you that astrology and cosmology and its effect on us has so much to do with our perspective of the cosmos around us and how it's, you feel me? So retrograde, a lot of people tend to think that these planets are traveling backwards. They're moving in a way that seems as if they're traveling back, but they're just going back around the sun from our perspective. And if you're looking at it on a number line, if the sun is at 25 and Mercury travels to 26 and then comes and orbits back around the sun, it's going to seem as if it's going backwards on that number line, right? So that affects us in a way in which, by our perspective, it seems as if Mercury is returning, right? So you can use words like retrograde, return, revisit, reevaluate. All of those things are nuances that you should engage in when dealing with any kind of retrograde. Mercury is a planet that deals with communication. So there are going to be revisits, relapses, right? Anything that begins with the word re, because now you're dealing with grammar, you're dealing with syntax. These prefixes have particular meanings, and they can morphalize a word in a particular manner. This particular morphalization effectively explains all the natures of what a retrograde potentially means for us as astrologers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So any word that begins with re, for the most part, can be used to interpret retrograde. Outside of that, you look at the natural energetic of that planet in and of itself. Mercury retrograde doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. Mercury retrograde could simply mean revisit, retrograde, your Mercury writings before you publish them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be the returning of, you know what I'm saying, an ex or you know what I'm saying? It could just be revisiting a dialogue that you had, or, you know what I'm saying, rewriting something. You feel me? It's a multitude of things that, you know, Mercury retrograde could represent. But ultimately, any type of backwards movement is always going to make individuals uncomfortable. And that's sometimes why people naturally sweep things under the rug. You feel me? Because it's hard to actually look at what's there and revisit certain things and go back and say, I got to go clean that up. So Mercury retrograde forces that. And sometimes people don't want to be forced to reevaluate and revisit certain things. You feel me? So the energy of the moment creates that space. So, you know, the thing is that when it comes to astrology, it's not about believing in astrology. It's about astrology believing in you. Nobody needs believers. You feel me? Nobody needs believers. People need information if they wish to engage in the topicality. You feel me? Nobody needs anybody to believe in the rhetoric, right? What we need is for people to have access to understand the topicality as it works in its most functional format. You can maintain and you can keep your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you feel as though people need to stop believing in bullshit means that your beliefs about what people need to do far outweigh your own. And I think that that's irrelevant when people are actually gaining from information that you yourself don't condone or don't enjoy. I don't feel like it's your space to limit their ability to discern whether or not the information is for them. And you can definitely manifest what you want. I'm sure it's in your chart that you have the ability to do that. Oftentimes, people with the least amount of information about a subject matter or topicality have the most to say about the thing. I tend to not speak on things from a place of ignorance. If I'm going to discredit something, it's going to be from within the box of the study. That's something that's just a personal warrior code that I have. Is it, if I'm going to discredit something, it's going to be from a space of being indulging in it at its fullest. I come from a school that we studied every school and every lane of thought so that we can understand how to deconstruct it from within its own thinking. So many people, you know, have things to say or oppositions to subject matters that they have no knowledge of. I think that that's phenomenal. The fact that I can show you my son's birth in my chart and the fact that I can show you my little brother's birth in my chart is enough reassurance for me to know that I can see something happening in my reality and I've watched it do so. Your belief, not having done any of those experiences, is irrelevant to anybody who's actually curious about the topicality. If I can't give a reference, you're shooting from the hip. Well, here's the thing, right? If you don't want the information, I can't force you to take it. But if you want references, I gave you one already. I said Oooh, the cosmophysician, cosmophysics, right? Look into that, right? You have authors like Robert Petir, right? You have groups and collectives like the Golden Dawn, right? Shit, the majority of your modern day I mean, whenever you want to debate, bro, I'd rather a mediator and an audience point out the nuances in your logical fallacies as a naysayer than feel like I have to do it repeatedly. I do appreciate the opposition though, because it gives us space to defend the premise of what we're trying to deliver here. So if everybody was a yes man, we really wouldn't be able to get to the true crux of what it is as we can offer.
So, I'm gonna set this little debate thing up, and we're gonna do this live. I need to talk to Rizzy about his character and his behavior because he's not a good debater. He actually likes to overtalk people.
I am a third-degree black belt, U.S. Kung Fu champion, National Hall of Fame. I was the debate team captain all years in high school, and I studied psychology and logical fallacy. So one of the biggest takeaways from my ability is that I am obsessed with debating. And as a Leo, I hate embarrassment. So I don't go into debate readily and excitedly, knowing that there's potential for me to be embarrassed. So I'm very, 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 very excited for opportunities like that because I know how I manage myself and I know how I engage myself strategically for dialogue. And I know that I manage control systems. As much as people like to say that certain things are pseudo, I know how many control systems that I manage, and I know that you know, it's easy to have a rooting and a foundation in what is tangible for all people to grasp. It's another thing to be able to negate something you have no knowledge of. You know, so it's like I know that my footing is far more paramount in a situation like this. You know, as far as speaking to people about their behavior, I think it speaks volumes of if you appreciate any topicality or any information, or if you were a scientist in opposition to astrology, that you would conduct yourself strategically so that you could sway the individuals in which you wanted to truly believe your notion of reality. So even your entry strategy, even your conduct and your expression of self, it denotes that there truly is no passion for what it is you feel like you believe in opposition to myself. So, you know, or else you would have conducted yourself differently. And I mean, it's fine that you could be trained by Navy SEALs, and that in and of itself shows the inadequacy of American military training by how you conduct yourself per character. And the fact that I'm positive you're older than me, I think that in and of itself is it speaks volumes to where we are at as a country, and where we are at as a group of elders, especially in regards to giving the youth a place to speak their truth.
Okay.
I mean,
well, we're gonna stop there.
Right.
We're gonna stop there. So everybody knows that we are in Philly. This ain't gonna be no gun shit. This is so everybody's clear. This is a verbal exchange of knowledge and wisdom from two brothers that I know a lot. And I think that one has better character and better delivery. And I think one is just funny and don't know how to control themselves because they get too passionate. So as I said, I am going to talk to Rizzy because Rizzy always goes above and beyond the call of duty, and no one gets to hear what he has to say. So me saying that I'm going to speak to him is more like a friend because you see how you got people listening, right?
Yeah.
They're intrigued. They want to hear it, and you're still being respectful and mindful of the audience and how we receive it and our feelings and everything. And Rizzy's not like that. Right. He's a complete asshole in that arena. Complete. Right. So, and we always talking about his deliverance. So nobody knows. Everybody knows he's intelligent. Everybody knows he knows things, but his deliverance fucks him up every time.
Well, you know, I can code switch my delivery as well, but I'm a representation of my mother when I speak on other people's platforms. So, you know, I maintain I can be a nigga too, you know, but at the same time,
And my thing is, y'all both
know.
two niggas I care about, so it's gonna be respectful because everybody knows.
Yeah.
I don't do the route. No, I'm not saying that to you. I'm not saying that to him. I'm reminding my audience that everything I do, everything over here is peace, love, and light, whether we disagree or not.
Right.
So,
Always.
Rizzy, your deliverance is fucked up. We always say you don't have that. Nobody. That's why nobody likes you but me and love you, Rizzy, because your deliverance. That's the fact. You know that.
Yeah. It's cool. I look forward to taking the nuances of his audience because my ability to deliver my pseudoscience is far more effective than him to deliver whatever it is he delivers because I didn't really get much of that. But I'll go into this debate blindly, knowing my footing.
What's your schedule look like?
My schedule is free to whip ass whenever ass needs whipping.
Well, shit, don't either one of us got none three of us got no damn jobs. So we can do this shit anytime except for tonight.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Shit. We could do it now. We could do it in an hour. We could do it tomorrow morning. We could do it tomorrow afternoon. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying? I live for this. I live for this. I feel like this is most important for the audience as people who it is their right to discern. And charisma definitely can be confusing and misleading. And I don't want my charisma to be confusing or misleading. I want my ability to point out the logical fallacy in another individual's need to naysay, you know, to be what carries, you know what I'm saying, my voice. So I'm ready and prepared at any moment, at any given notice. I don't even understand what we could be debating or what could be negating, as I don't know what footing he's standing. I don't care. So whenever you're ready.
All right, I'm gonna bring him on here for 2 hot minutes, and I'm gonna bang. I'm definitely gonna bang with him, and y'all, we all got to be in the same place at the same time. And I mean, this shit could go on all night.
Yeah. I mean, but you know. I mean, if he's gonna be a distraction from other people, y'all can follow me at NesuBT_Kafre, and I'll be building about it on my page. I'll be building about it on my lives. My business Instagram is at Lords of the Pivot _ instead of spaces, Lords of the Pivot. My personal Instagram is NSWBTY _Kafre, KHAFR. I'll type it for y'all. NesuBT _Kafra. It's my personal.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. Let us get a quick laugh off of him real quick. I'm gonna let my brain roll. And you said you're available anytime. Now this jackass, when he will come and pick me up, and then we'll be at your house, or you come to my house. That's why I said let's just plan it, so we ain't in each other's house at 9:30 at night yelling.
Right.
But this can happen tomorrow. It can happen tonight, later on. It can, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be clear on what we're doing because I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's really good. But I definitely want to set up so that you guys can take donations because y'all going to be dropping some science and knowledge is power. And if it was going to, like you just did the show that you just did the event on Friday, you should be compensated for your time and compensated for your knowledge that you're sharing.
Right. I appreciate that. Absolutely.
So I definitely want to have the moment to set up an account that's private, and then the only people that's getting in there make a donation. So which would y'all think will be a fair donation for this? For y'all have to split it in half. So what? $10 to get it on the page, $20 to get on the page, $50 to get on the page. Like I would need you to say something fair, something that you feel like you're worthy of.
Facts. I mean, we'll build on it because you know, I'm a Pisces rising, so you know, I'm gonna let that be, you know, y'all the main discussion and whatnot. I love engagement, so I'm not, my brain isn't on nothing else.
Cool. All right, we get ready. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm gonna see you one day this week. I had the girls over there get their charts done.
Yeah.
But we gonna talk before that. Let me bring him in for a second. So
Yeah, you know we love you too. I
All right, I love
appreciate
y'all.
you,
Talk to
you
you
know what
later.
I'm saying? Even pulling me up and whatnot, man. I love the energy, you know what I'm saying? It's always love, it's all love. I feel like knowledge for the people is what's gonna set us free. So I appreciate y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing. I'm gonna see y'all soon. We're gonna build ASAP.
Peace.
One love, y'all.
All right, Rizzy only got the live is over in 5 minutes, so Rizzy don't have a lot of time. It's 9:22. I started the live at 8:20 at 8:30, so we don't got a lot of time. So he's not gonna start bombs over Baghdad looking like ass. Come on, what you got?
Bombs over Baghdad. I will bomb on ball intellectually and with these and with these and with the knife. It don't matter. But let's talk some real shit. What the fuck is all that shit gonna do in reality?
Help you?
Help you how? We
Liz?
talking about the stars and fucking Mercury and Pluto and Uranus and Neptune. That shit ain't gonna help us. What's gonna help us is bread, guns, vests, learning how to fight. That shit he was talking about the rumble and shit. Yeah, we need that, learn that shit. Yeah, hand-to-hand combat and all that. But we need to learn about bread. Niggas need to learn how to get some fucking money. All that shit boy was talking about, you can't manifest that shit. Manifest the stars right now. Bring Pluto down here. What's up, love? How you doing?
That was bang worthy. That was so bang worthy.
Tell boy get some fucking money. This ain't tax money neither. I don't fucking file my shit till April 15th. This nigga. Give me something tangible. I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking stars and planets and all that shit and vortexes. If you ain't manifesting none of that shit, make some weapons. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? If you gonna talk about stars, think about it. Remember I was telling y'all something about the Tupacs? The Tupacs, plasma armed cannon satellites. They're using the shit out there, the stars and all that, to make weapons against us. But this nigga talking all this shit, but you ain't making no weapons. Where's your plasma ray at? Where's your gamma ray? Where's something? See, I'm talking that real shit. Real shit. Where's your gamma ray? Where's that at? Where's your plasma gun? Where's that at? Nigga, where's your taser sword? Where's it at? Where's your Tesla coil? Where's it at? Where's your Tesla coil at? Where's your generator? Where is the nickel? Where's the nickel at? Where we can shoot far as shit with the rail gun. What is you doing? What is that shit for? What is you talking about the star? Nobody care about that shit. Y'all care about that shit? Y'all wasting y'all fucking time.
Actually, we all.
Fuck the star.
I started.
Kill a star down here, nigga. The only star we know that gives us life and function is that motherfucking sun. If something happened to that, bye-bye, all that bullshit boy was talking about. And I just grabbed some nasties too. Some nasties. I had to treat myself. Fuck what he talking about. Fuck what Ball talking about with the dusty dreads. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. We copping up over here. You know what I mean? These things cost You know what I mean? I'm about to go out hood style today. So my black Jones on kicking with the gat on me. One down on me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fighting shit. I'm too ugly. I'm too ugly and skinny. She said they ugly. They's not ugly. These Jones look nice. Hold up. She hating. You ain't spending 9 something on something. What's ugly about these? These look like some fucking Jordans or something. These nice. And they just came out. What are you talking about? Nigga, the owner of Balenciaga ain't got these. I might treat myself sometimes. I never had no high-end shoes. Except for back in the day, Prada Jones, but that shit don't count. Pradas don't count. They only like $400 or $500. But fuck what Ball talking about. Nobody trying to hear that shit, dog. Nobody trying to hear that. No. If we do debate, though, because it's for that bread, though, I am going to bring the real nigga etiquette, though. Don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I throwing the button up in the tie, step inside the booth, Superman is alive. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. Now that's interesting. Winner take the whole pot. Now that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to create a page for this debate. It can be Thursday evening or Sunday morning. Thursday was when I was doing karaoke. I was live, about to come over. So let me say thank you in advance. This gets cut off. Thank you in advance. I'm going to create a page. It's going to be $20 to get in. Prepaid. Private account. When you follow that account, you get in for this debate. Winner takes the whole pot. Cannot be biased because Willie's an asshole. Can't be biased because Abdul got dreads. This got to be like some real shit. Like real shit. Like real shit. So everybody got to come with a clear heart, clear mind. Forget what you've seen from both people and listen to the debate. Listen to the topic at hand and judge from there. And the winner going to take the whole pot. I'm going to go to sleep because this shit just got hot. Nicole said, I have a prediction Rizzy lost. I cannot be dealing with y'all. Yeah, so that's that. That's that. That's how it's going to be. So I'm going to post the information. Post date and time. I'm going to talk to them both, see what day work for them, Thursday night or Sunday morning. Like I see if I'm going to be in Philadelphia. I might be damn somewhere else. So, yeah. All right. Well, I love y'all. And season's greetings. This live should be over. Thank you. You put butter? Yeah, it's Thank you. This live should be over by 9:30. So, email me for your greetings at congoprincess@gmail.com. KONGO princess@gmail.com. My cash app is $ Congo Princess. All that good stuff. We will talk soon. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thank everybody who came in on the live because it made it live, and that's what I like. It ain't all about me. I mean, it's my show. It's my page. But it's more fun when everybody chimes in and shares because that's what we're here for. Sharing is caring, knowledge is power. Fuck everything else.